Hey everyone, this is Hypo. Welcome back to more Let's Play Kirby 64. In the last episode, we finished the first half of Rockstar, and this episode we're going to be finishing the second half of Rockstar. So I'm going to grab this food here real quick to heal this point of damage I took. So for the first shard in this level, we're going to need rock, which I think is going to be coming up here pretty soon. Which I think is, I'm pretty sure it is in this level. Well, we can just hold on to this fire for now. So here's an opportunity to show off the... Never mind. So the thing about some of these shards is that sometimes they won't have the power-ups you need in the level. Like, there'll be times where you have to go back and you have to find the combo that you need or the regular power-up and then go back through the level to the part where you need to get it and then break that block, which... Trust me, that gets really annoying sometimes. And there's even one shard in this game, I mean, later on, that I am not looking forward to. Because sometimes it's like really hard to hold on to your power up just because of like how it works, like exactly what it does. And these guys actually get cut. What I kind of like to do is just to hold on to this guy and then shoot the bigger guy until the smaller guy runs out. Okay, come on. Or, you know, I could just use the cutter on him. That works too. So, I'm gonna actually use the cutter on him. Or I could just die. That works too. Now that I'm done showing off, how about I show you the way that you're meant to do it? So I'm kind of sorry. So I'm really sorry that this commentary hasn't been all that great, because in all honesty, there really isn't all that much to talk about. I mean, I've shown off most of the combos, and there's our second shard, and I mean, there really isn't a whole lot to talk about in this level other than there's a bunch of sand. This level is brought to you by sand. It's everywhere, so get used to it. Hopefully somebody gets that. So, you know, a lot of these shards... So this is another kind of easy level to find shards. So I guess the rock really isn't in this level. That's another one I'll have to go back and get. So I could have used that ice power up the... kind of help through this level. Kind of avoid that because it's another fun power that you can do with cutters. So I'm gonna hold on to the trusty mega cutter. Every time I feel like every time lately that I say I'm gonna go and get a power up, I seem to miss it. So I think I'm gonna hold on to these regular power ups for a little bit. And yeah, here's the hole you have to jump in, because there's other levels that have holes just like that, and sometimes they'll have enemies jump out at you. That's why I was kind of reluctant to go and jump in there. Apparently I don't know this level as well as I thought I did, even though I managed to practice this. And so I'm pretty sure there's no way you can beat those guys either, these Princer guys. And so that's pretty much it for this room. Collect a few stars and just move on. So as you can see, if you couldn't tell before by the bubbles, you're actually underwater and you have to pretty much just swim down here while avoiding a bunch of these cutter guys, which is kind of weird. You'd think they'd have the needle power up. I mean, they don't look like they would have boomerangs on them. It's kind of... When I first saw them, I thought it was kind of confusing, like, oh, maybe they have needle, but no, instead they have cutter for some weird reason. You know what would have been really cool to have in this game is that if some of the enemies gave you power combos right off the bat, where if you like for example, these arrow guys we're passing right now, how if they gave you the flame plus arrow ability, because they do look like arrows to a little bit, or how the mole would give you a drill or something like that. I mean, if they ever decide to make a sequel to this game or like put it on 3DS, which would be really cool, I would really love to see that. Maybe they can add that in or something. And I think that's the end of this level. Yes, it is. So I'm thinking I'm really gonna need this maximum tomato right now. Alright, I actually got it this time. So, let's go on to the next level. So, as you can see in the background, there's another reference to Kirby's Dream Land 3, is that witch in the background. You'll actually be seeing her a lot throughout the game. She actually doesn't do anything. She's just there in the background just to look at. But she actually did give you a power up in Kirby's Dream Land 3. She gave you a broom power up, which basically literally just swept enemies away, and that was pretty much it. To my knowledge, that's still the only game that was in. And trust me, it wasn't really all that useful of a power up at all. So I really like this level, because of all the crystal-like elements to it. And so again, watch out for the shot zones. They'll shoot out lasers at you this time instead of their regular cannonballs, and also they will follow you as well. So be mindful of that. And I'm not doing so well right now. This song is starting to make me have flashbacks of Kirby's Canvas Curse. But, you know, if I had a DS emulator, I would LP that game in a heartbeat, because I don't know too many people who really liked it, but I actually liked it a lot. You know, it's something about games that people are on the fence about that if it's very defendable, then I will usually be the one defending it for some reason. Oh, you know what? Here's actually another opportunity to get another shard. If you combine Bomb with Spark, then you will actually get the light bulb here, which you will actually need to get another shard coming up. But if you just float up here and just float in the middle, and again, I'm getting tired, so just float, just jump down, and there's your second shard. First shard of the level. Excuse me. Was that the first? I'm having a really hard time remembering where all the shards are, even though I wrote them down. So this is why you need the light bulb power up. As you can see, a star, raindrop, and a fish. And in here is a button room where you have to duck down and push them in the order. So star, raindrop, and where's the fish? I believe this is it. And there's your next shard. Also, that pattern will always be different for every time you come through this level. So I think I'm gonna hold on to this light bulb power up. You can also explode as a regular bomb. It wouldn't be a bomb combo without an explosion after all. I mean, again, I really like this crystal level a lot. I think I've said this before, maybe a couple episodes ago, how I really like the Kirby series for its art style in a lot of its games. And also be careful of these blocks here. They will crush you if you're not careful. But yeah, I always loved the art style in all of the Kirby games, where I don't think the light bulb would be all that useful. See? I told you it wouldn't be all that useful. Well, of course it's not going to be useful if you don't even use it. So as I was saying before about the Kirby art style in every game, I really like this level in particular because it kind of has a neon feel to it. I've always had this affinity for neon lights with me being from a large city, so they're pretty much everywhere, and at one point I even considered making my entire background sort of similar to my channel icon, where I would make all the characters on it in a sort of neon fashion. Might actually go after this one up here. Okay. So after that, we have our next boss battle. This is Pix. Again, I said two forms to every boss of each star. But this one, I don't even know if I would consider this a first form, because you can't do anything to Pix right now. You just have to wait him out and just avoid him as he tries to attack you. This is pretty simple. All he'll do is just go slow-mo around until he tries to hit you, and then he'll develop the second green block. Just walk underneath him and just wait that out. And I actually got hit there, surprisingly. I'll be honest with you, I couldn't figure this boss out for the life of me when I first played this game. It never really, I know it seems so simple, but it never really occurred to me just to walk under him. It's so easy looking back now. I was actually really terrible at a lot of video games back when I was younger. I guess a lot of us were. But I kind of kicked myself over simple things like this because I couldn't figure them out as a kid. Like I was like really book smart as a kid, I'll be honest with you. But some things, some simple maneuvers in video games I just couldn't figure out. So this is where the real fight begins, and your power-ups are pretty much useless here. So basically all you have to do is match each of these multicolored molecules with the appropriate colored version of picks here. So match blue to blue, red to red, and green to green, and then rinse and repeat. So each of these just takes 2 hits, and after they're gone, then they will disappear. Well, they'll still be here, they'll just be holograms of them, and this is pretty much the easiest form to hit them in. And then they'll be gone for good. And that was a stupid mistake on my part. So on the way back up here, I kind of had a realization about this boss and about its name. So I believe the reason this boss is called Pix is because how in TVs they display pictures in RGB color mode, and even like in Photoshop and other programs similar to it, how they have an RGB color mode with pictures and all that. So I think it's really cool that they added this little detail in, and I believe that's why each individual boss is red, green, and blue. And see, the green guy's gone, so we can jump through him all we want to, so he's not going to be a problem. We just need to take care of the red and the blue picks. I don't know if each separate entity is named Pix, or all 3 of them together in forms Pix, and then this RGB. Even I like how even though the green guy's gone, then we still have the green molecules pop up. Now then, I'm really not aiming on dying right now. I really don't want to. Or, you know, that works too. I can just die. That's fine. Alright, and that's going to do it for picks. I also take back what I said about how you can only hit each individual picks with their corresponding color. You can actually hit each individual picks with a different color, but it just does less damage, whereas hitting them with their corresponding color only takes them out in 2 hits. So I love this particular cutscene because of Brawl in the Family, and any of you have ever read that, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. So, everybody's in the desert, and Kirby in particular is dying of starvation. Big shocker there. So, Adeline gets the idea to paint everybody food so they don't all starve to death. But the reason this reminds me of the comic is because they actually did a parody of this where Adeline painted Kirby a maximum tomato, but when he ate it, he immediately spat it out because it turned it back into paint. I love how King Dedede just yanks Kirby into the portal like that. Alright, and that's going to do it for this episode. In the next episode, we'll be taking on Aquastar. Thank you all for watching. This has been Hypo Wallow, and until next time, I'll see you all later. Take care, everybody.